Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have a pretty good rack, but do I have a bingo? Not that I can see. Now, invent or invert, invent or invert or viner. I think vintner might be a word. Vintner. Yes, it is. Wow. I was almost about to play just a little 5 or 6 letter word, but yeah, that's great. Now, we've got the WU combo, which isn't great. Pastiche, very nice bingo by opponent. He plays that fairly quickly as well. Now, what to do with this W? I would like to get rid of it as soon as possible. And I do have up here, which separates the U and the W. I could play war, W-A-U-R, but no, there's just no score in that one. So, what about up? Yeah, I think I'll go with this for 20. Not a great pickup. I'm a bit vowel heavy now. And nowhere near a bingo. So, I'll have to... Wow, that was a 4-timer, 110 points. Gee, that's like 2 bingos in one play, 55 points each. Anyway, so still behind a little bit, and opponent scores another massive 46 points, so not looking great from my perspective, but let's see if I can get some points on the board. Way for 31 looks okay. Opponent will probably play the J after that, so not overly keen. What about 1 or any? 28, not bad. And I think I will go with this. Oh, NI, no good, obviously. Okay. Way for 31. Not a bad pickup. Amniote does not currently play, I don't think. And what is the anagram of amniote? Pastiche takes an S, I suppose. Maybe it doesn't. There is also a T here. I have anti, the anti prefix, anti-home, not a thing. Anti, okay, so opponent plays brew. Brew does not take an N or anything that I've got. But I do have amniote here, which is quite nice. I almost missed that. Now, any parallel play, amniote, not, and what is the anagram? Metanoia. Metanoia onto an A, no A available. And words ending in shin, not seeing it, so I think I'll go with amniote, even though it gives opponent an easy score. Not a terrible pickup, but not a great one either. Looking at IGHT words, nothing going there. H, any hotspots for the H? I do have hen here for 29, but a terrible rack leave, so not keen on that one. Opponent plays faded and scores are more or less level. Looking at ways of getting value from this double word square at L4. Nope, nothing happening there. Warm doesn't take anything I've got. So what about a HI play? No, not seeing anything there either. Pastiche. What about hugging up? 20 points, feels weak. I think I'm going to go with hen. I know it's terrible rack leave, but it's the only way I can get some points on the board. So I think I will go with this, yeah. 29. Okay, not a bad pickup. Quite balanced, so that could have been a lot worse. And just not seeing a great option on the board as it stands, but this E might come in handy, and perhaps the I. Opponent, wow. Crostino, that's not one you see every day. Opponent takes the lead by 50 points. And I've got glowed here, but is there a bingo? Maybe through this O or the I? Glowered isn't a word. Goldern, but not goldure. Anyway, there's nowhere to hook a bingo onto on this board, so unless you have an S, so it really has to be through these floaters. Anything through the T? No, not seeing it. So I'm going with glowed for 36. Draw a couple of I's and a U, so not ideal, but there is some synergy here. I have the shin ending. And I have the intrusion. No, that would be a 9. ING options are still a possibility. Wow, these words, crostino and pastiche, not exactly high probability. Opponent scores well with the X and takes a bingo's lead, roughly. No H's to come, so this 4H spot not overly dangerous. Just wondering if there is a bingo in the slot. I have the ISO prefix and the iron component. These vowels not overly helpful with a vowel heavy rack. Now what about just EO here? I don't know what this serves to achieve. The hooks for EO are just G and B from the remaining tiles that... Yes, I can't see... Wow, there are 2 blanks to come, so there's an argument for... Oh, I thought I had ruinous for a moment. Ruinaus, yeah. That would need to be a U, I think. So maybe I should try tile turnover to maximize my chances of bingoing. Yeah. Maybe just irons for 20. I have to create openings. I know it probably helps my opponent having all these floaters, but I am a bingo behind, so what should I've got to get rid of this U though, surely. I just don't know what to do here. Tori, it's 12. There's some synergy with the UN, but that's an F hotspot. Oh, it seems whatever I do, I'm creating openings. Nori. Yeah, I'm going with this. Is there a bingo here? I have to assume my opponent has at least 1 blank. Well, I don't have to assume that, but I do assume it. Not seeing any great plays with this rack on the board as it stands, but I'm sure there are a few decent scoring plays. Now, what about this ing ending? Mustying. It could be. It's worth a try. Mustying. Stoomying, no. Mustying. Opponent scores well. Mustying, not a thing. Minty for 37. Okay, I've drawn another U. Munty wasn't an option, so it looks like Fuge. Feasibly. Okay, opponent did have the blank. So yeah, the game is lost, but what to do with these tiles? Just not sure there's anything great on offer here. Fouge for 18. Well, I don't draw the second blank, which was what I was aiming to achieve. And I have to create openings. Yeah, so opponent bingo's there. And yeah, just not going my way this game. Unfortunately. QI, any spots for QI? 3 tiles in the bag. I might just play the Q here. If I draw an R, I have Trulies down the Troelies, and well, possibly a bingo on to the N. I'll go with this. No, that's kind of lousy. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but yeah, not seeing anything bingo-y here. Eulogies through a G, but not onto a G. Jealousy. Suji I could play. Lib. Wow. Suji. 24, and then I can go out with oil over here, or at the top, or coil. Oil will probably score more, but yeah, rival and oil there. So that's the end of the game. A bit of a trouncing, but some interesting words played. Let's have a look at what we missed. So Vintner, or yeah, just Vintner in various spots. Glad to have spotted that. Almost missed it. Pastiche for 110. So I'm behind pretty early on there by about 40. Whippin', it's quite nice. Pin up for 24, but Whippin' looks, yeah, that's a good score. I went with up to balance the rack. Zag for 46, and now I am, yeah, about 60 behind. Way for 31, Brew for 32, looks fine. Amniote, Nominate, that was the one from the N down onto the trip. So yeah, Nominate was a bit of a miss, but Amniote scored well, gave opponent 30-point play. Diff could have scored a fair bit more, 41. Opponent went with Faded. Now UGH, not bad at 3B. UGH, which has a few front hooks, a V, a P, a E and a S, I believe. So I'm not crazy about it because of all those front hooks, but rack leave, very nice compared to what mine was left with. Crostino 72, Isocron. Wow. Through the H, but Crostino was a nice bingo. And Glowed for 36. So scores are fairly close now, but opponent has the X and gets 36 for that one. No bingo here, not far, but just a bit vowel heavy. No great scores. 12A, where's that? Ruins. And pastiches. Well, with 2 blanks unseen and some nice tiles, I don't know if I want to be leaving an S in the trip lane for a mid-20 score. No. So I aimed to bingo. Now opponent's got some flexibility here with the K to score. Wow, he had skied at H11. Getting the K doubled and the whole word tripled. So that's nice. But goes with ached for 36. And no bingo here. Minty was the top score. And then opponent has quite a few different bingos. Lesbigay. Wow. I haven't seen that one before. I can work out what it means, but sizably, biasedly, beastly, keelbassy, and feasibly is the one that comes down. And now the game is lost pretty much. I'd have to be back-to-back bingoing with opponent struggling to get back 130-point deficit. So Fugu's for 42 was 12A across. The reason I played Fugue, well, I suppose I'm making it too easy for opponent to score, but I just thought EIS is the best rack leave. Maybe Fugus here. Yeah, that's also not too bad. D11 down. And it still preserves the floater in the T. And then you've also got the G, but ING, yeah. So anyway, I went with Fugue. I think it was suboptimal. Opponent's got an absolute dream rack here and a gazillion bingos. Plays Nortana and then cheese for 29 at 3B. And sup. Yeah, I should have spotted that. But actually I was looking to bingo just right at the end. I spotted Trulies as an option if I drew the R. And yeah, and then possibly if I drew a T or just thinking of what a T would. Anyway, I was thinking there might be a bingo there or one from the T. So that was the reason for playing just the Q. And opponent has the J as well. So he pounded me with the X and the J and the Z and both blanks. But he played well. Sometimes you're just up against it. Suji 24 and then opponent plays rival and oil for 8 but toil for 11 just down there on the right. So that was the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.